16 Most Insane Body Modification Procedures. Wild Wolf Queen 100 left a great question on our Real Ghost Photos video. The answer to that would be from way too much time on the internet, and possibly hearing voices from ghosts late at night. Number 16. Body Mod Fanatic. This guy really looks like someone you don't want to run into while walking through a dark alley at night. People who are really into this, like this guy, will participate in a wide variety of body modifications, especially on their face. Others claim severe cases like this are proof of mental illness. He has a little bit of everything. Piercings, tattoos, and gauges can all be extremely painful processes, and also dangerous, like we're about to see on this list. Number 15. Lizard Man. This man with the name of Eric also goes by the rightful name of Lizard Man, and he appears as if he's in the process of shape-shifting from a human into a reptilian. He's done his best to make people think he's actually a lizard and not a human. With a little help from his green tattoos, subdermal implants, and other extreme body mods, he'll make you think he's really a lizard. He can only pray he doesn't get some type of infection though. Number 14. Corset piercings. Feel like having your entire back look like the front of a shoe? Maybe the corset piercing is right up your alley. This artistic design starts off with piercings on either side of the spine, and then ribbons are laced through the rings. If the ribbons or rings aren't properly sanitized, they can easily cause infection and lead to unsightly scars all over the back. Be careful on this one, especially since you're not piercing cartilage, but only skin. Number 13. Donut Head. In order to stand out from the crowd a little, and most likely not suffer from permanent repercussions like other body mods, club kids in Japan choose to go with the donut head look. The person's forehead is injected with saline, and some claim it's an edgy way to look cool. But you won't be looking so cool if the saline is contaminated and a large portion of the skin on your face becomes infected. The infection can also rupture a blood vessel and severe skin damage is possible. Most of the time, the swelling only lasts for about an hour or so. Number 12. The SKILLTAT. Many would probably be slightly shocked to see this man's tattoos. Not only has he attempted to transform himself into the Walking Dead, but he wants people to see what he'd look like with half a cranium. Although it might look like he's going to a Halloween party, this costume won't be coming off anytime soon. Number 11. Iguana Mike. Medical professionals are unsure how they feel about the design Iguana Mike is going for in this photo. They wouldn't really say that they encourage transdermal implants such as metal spikes popping out of the head. Once the metal goes through the skin like this, it's basically like an open door for germs and infections. Although it would be safer for doctors to apply this procedure, many are unwilling due to the question of ethics. Would a doctor be violating the Hippocratic Oath, knowing that he might be setting up someone for an illness? Instead of a donut, it looks like he's going for a star on this one. Number 10. Skin stretching. This guy is probably asking himself, how far can he possibly stretch his lip without popping it in half? But this man, Rafa Nomo from Brazil, will never actually see himself the same way before he began stretching his lips. He's actually stretched the skin so far that it'll never return back to normal. Number 9. Ancient stretching. The skin stretching portrayed by Mr. Nomo is not a new idea by any means. It's been used as an ancient technique to modify one's body. It's not just Africa that does this either. Here in this photo, you can see how tribes from Central America, like tribes in the Amazon, have stretched their lip. This goes for men too in this culture, and not only women like in Africa, in the Mercy tribe. However, the Mercy tribe is the only known existing participants in this tradition. This does look similar to body modifications done to women in Africa. The skin stretching done here is technically voluntary, but many men won't marry a woman without this procedure. As you can imagine, this puts much pressure on women to perform this, and requires that they have both 2 front teeth and bottom teeth removed in order to make room for this object. Number 8. Skull binding. What would you believe this skull belonged to if you came across one? Possibly the head of an alien? In many cultures, skull binding was done in order to give them an elongated head. Historians believe that the procedure happens when the baby's skull is still mendable. The skull was wrapped tightly in cloth or even sometimes held between 2 boards. This would prevent the skull from growing sideways and not vertically. Could extraterrestrials have possibly influenced people to perform this bizarre body mod? Number 7. Hole in chin. Once you finally thought you've seen everything on the internet, behold, the hole in chin. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's almost like a hole in one, but a lot more disturbing. While people think it's cool to get their ears or lips gauged, this lovely couple got the skin on their chins pierced and stretched. Now they have another hole in which they can stick their tongues out and give a little smooch.
Ew.
Number 6. Suspension mod. This body mod makes it a little bit difficult to walk and show off to your friends. Although it may seem to look like a form of torture, people actually partake in this and say it's not too painful. People with extreme body mods don't want to admit usually to anything being painful. They prefer to use the word sensation. This guy has to have some serious sensations going on in the morning. Any of our subscribers ever tried this before? Please tell us about it in the comments section. Number 5. Breast implants. Although this one may be more acceptable by societal norms in the US, people push it to the absolute limits like this woman in the photo. This German adult model has the world's biggest breast, and she's wearing an astonishing 32Z. That's Z as in zebra. According to one source, her surgically enhanced chest area weighs a total of 40 pounds. That's 32 pounds each breast. When she was 31, she had an A cup, meaning during her life, she spanned the entire alphabet. This person gives the expression "free the nipple" to a whole new level. This 18-year-old cream claimed to have gotten a bizarre body modification by getting both of his nipples removed. If removing his nipples wasn't bizarre enough, he then went on to try to sell them to the highest bidder. He posted on his Twitter that nipples are pointless, and he even got his belly button removed. Okay, well, it turns out this was a hoax the entire time. But some people will do anything for attention nowadays. Number 3. Tongue splitting. So you've decided that a normal tongue will no longer do it, and you want to consider getting a tongue split in order to look like our hero, Lizard Man. The tongue split might be right up your alley. Although you should consider changing your mind on this one. Watching this procedure seems like almost a cruel form of punishment. The tongue is clamped down, and a scalpel basically slices the tongue in two. And you thought biting your tongue hurt? Don't by any means. Plan on having an important talk or job interview with someone within a week, because you will not be able to speak properly for quite some time. Stitches are then needed to close the sides of the tongue where the incision was made. You can only imagine the sensation for this one. By separating the two sides, this makes the tongue appear to be larger. Number 2. Eyeball ink. Our eyes are considered to be the window to the soul. So in what way can we completely alter these windows in order to make us look more BA? Would you be willing to go through a body modification that has the possibility of making you blind? If the possibility of going blind isn't enough to scare you off from having this dangerous procedure, how about having a hypodermic needle inserted into your eyeball? This is what people have to contemplate before getting an eyeball tattoo. A syringe is basically inserted into the white part of the eye and injected with ink. One wrong move by the body modifications expert, or the one getting the tattoo, can result in permanent blindness. Number 1. Elf ears. With body modifications and plastic surgery reaching an all-time popularity, we can basically look like anything we want to nowadays, even mythical creatures if we desire. In this procedure, a small piece of ear cartilage is removed, then stitched together, resulting in a Spock or elf-like ear set. But people who want this body mod actually pay to look like those people. 30 years down the road, you have to wonder if they'll still feel good about having procedures like this done.
Ew.